In this video, we'll discuss the writing process. We English teachers refer to it as a process to differentiate it from a product. Writing isn't about the final essay that you turn in. Sure, we grade that. But the important thing isn't the text itself, it's how you got there. If you follow the process, it does more than just result in a bunch of papers that get an A. It changes how you think. Never mind what you think, the important part is how you get there, and that you keep allowing yourself to grow and change as an intellectual. It's unfortunate that we have to grade the end paper, but that's just the reality. If you'll follow the process, though, you'll get more out of writing, and you'll write better than you ever have before. The first step in writing is to engage your mind, to think. This is the most important part because it involves doing research, learning new things, and having conversations with people about what you're learning. Some of the hardest work is done right here, but students often skip this step for the sake of time. Don't skip it. Also, don't try to come out of this phase in the process with the right answers. You want to emerge asking the right questions, which is a lot harder than it sounds. It means letting go of biases, beliefs, and assumptions when you begin writing, and going where the information leads you. Next, it's time to begin inventing. You're likely writing in response to an assignment, so review the assignment and make sure you understand what it's asking. Think about why you're writing, and who your audience is, as this will shape what kinds of rhetorical appeals and what style you use. It might help you to create an outline of your information so far, or to write an annotated bibliography. Seeing information arranged on a page in those ways helps you reference your ideas quickly and compare them to one another. Finally, narrow your thoughts. You want your essay to be focused and to effectively accomplish its goal. A major failing of a lot of writing is trying to do too much in too small a space. Finally, write your thesis, the main idea of your paper, and list your claims. Your thesis statement is basically a one-sentence summary of your paper. It should be as simple as possible. Your claims are the main points that support your thesis. Next, you'll want to arrange your essay. Your thesis will usually go in your introduction, and each claim you make will likely get its own paragraph, sometimes maybe more, but it's unlikely that two claims will end up in the same paragraph. Underneath those claims will go evidence, arguments, and transitions. Think about how you want to arrange not only the sentences in your paragraphs, but also the paragraphs in your paper. Should you arrange information based on when it occurred, what's most important, or by some other sort of logical progression? It depends on the paper and the content. You are the author, so you have to decide how best to present your argument. You want to create a feel of cause and effect with your essay, where each paragraph results naturally in the next one, and we walk along stepping stones towards your conclusion. When you did your research, it wasn't that easy. But now that you've explored and arranged everything, you can make it a lot easier for your audience. Finally, remember pacing. You don't want to go so slowly that your audience gets bored, but you also don't want to move so quickly that we can't follow you. It sometimes helps to take a break, read your paper out loud, or have a friend or family member read it to get some perspective on pacing. Next, you'll want to draft and revise. I have a simple process here. Write whatever comes into your mind, no matter how crazy, just keep writing. Later on, go back and delete the parts you don't need, then write more. Repeating this process takes a long time, but you're better off deleting irrelevant things than not writing what you want to because you're stuck. Get it all on the page, then you can work with it to improve it. You can't revise something if you haven't written it yet. Finally, it's time to edit and proofread. This is normally what we think of as revision, but revision is more about getting the ideas and content right. This is about making it look right, crossing the T's and dotting the I's. Formatting correctly and fixing grammar errors and mechanical errors and typos is a good way to generate ethos, and it offers another chance to clarify any points you've made. You can see that editing and proofreading, our final step in the process, has an arrow going back to thinking. That isn't an accident. No writing is ever truly finished. It just arrives at the point where it's time to turn it in, put it in a drawer, send it to an editor, or email it to a coworker. In truth, there's always room for improvement. If you want to be a better writer, and you aren't afraid of really hard work, you go through the cycle as many times as you can. You'll be surprised what you find, how much your mind has changed, and how much better your writing will be.